I wish I had, even if I had said I'm taking 2 months off of jiu-jitsu, I wish I had said I'm at least doing something. I'm going to do 5 push-ups a day. I'm going to do 10 body squats. And I know that's super weak sauce for some of you CrossFit killers out there, but something. I wish I had made a decision that even if I wasn't going to do jits, I was going to do something physical. Some of my jits drills, some of my jits warm-ups, stretching, just stretching, something physical. And even if it was the littlest thing, I mean, imagine if I had just done, 20 push-ups, 30 push-ups a day, 40, something like that, 50 push-ups a day, or alternated 50 push-ups a day, every other day, 50 sit-ups every other day, or flutter kicks, or right? I mean, something. I wish I had done a better job. So anyway, good lessons learned for me that I will remember for the next time that I go into a funk. Also, I hope and pray that I get better at recognizing when I am going into a funk, because these last 4 or 5 times I've been triggered the past 2 months, I had zero. It was like an old school trigger. Like I went from everything's fine to I am completely emotionally hijacked that fast in a second, or at least that's what it seemed like to me. And it took me 2 or 3 days to calm down off of that emotional trigger. What is going on, EQ gangsters? So, oh my goodness, y'all, so much to tell you, or maybe just I feel very euphoric right now. How about that for an emotion? Euphoric. Oh, snap. I don't know that I've ever felt euphoric before. I don't think I've ever used that word before. So, oh man, you guys just caught me. I had to send do an episode right now, right after my first class back to jiu-jitsu after 2 months of suckfest, 2 months of lots of whining, wine and cheese. If you're smelling what I'm cooking, 2 months of teeny heart syndrome, 2 months of feeling emotionally overwhelmed and exhausted, 2 months of feeling probably lots of depression, and has been, if you guys have heard some of the episodes recently, this is not news to you. Man, it feels amazing. So here's what I want to encourage you guys. It's literally a drug. And I'm disclaimer again, I say this probably every 3rd or 4th episode. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a therapist. From my research, when we exercise and that kind of thing, we get, the chemicals, right? We get, I think it's dopamine, or I don't know. You guys probably know better than I do what chemical it is. That is like a drug, right? That's the addictive nature, or the addictive chemical, or whatever is that. And endorphins maybe isn't what I'm thinking of, or maybe it's both. Anyway, there's a chemical release when we do stuff like exercise, for example. And for me, again, if you followed me for any length of time, jits is like my therapy. It's physical, mental, emotional therapy. And there's tons of spiritual even lessons that I learned from jits as well. And the last 2 months I've stopped jits. I had scheduling excuses. We've traveled quite a bit the last 2 months. I took a course. I've been busy with my corporate coaching clients and business and stuff. And you guys know we're doing a remodel on our business. We're rebranding. It's just been a crazy, hectic 2 months this summer. And to make matters even worse, I did no PT. So, which added to the massive funk that I've been in. So not only was I not doing jits, I wasn't doing any PT, physical training. And so guys, I'm telling you, I feel amazing. Even though, check this out, y'all. Oh man, the emotions I was feeling today before jits, I was scared. I was fearful. I was nervous. I was anxious. I was disappointed. I was disgusted. I was angry because I let myself go the last 2 months. Now, something I just that popped into my head just here a little bit ago while I was still standing in jits class, and I was getting pissed at myself again because I let myself go. I'm like, yeah, so I let myself go in jits and PT and my physical training, but it wasn't like I did nothing the past 2 months. Like, yes, I made poor eating decisions. Obviously, I made poor exercise decisions, meaning I made the decision not to exercise the last 2 months. And so, but the positive way to look at it is I made a lot of positive decisions over the past 2 months. I still got up early, still read my Bible. I still knocked out all my business stuff. I've still been consistent on my podcast. I've still been doing my podcast guesting spots on different podcasts, getting interviewed on other podcasts. There's a lot of stuff. On my coaching clients, I've been doing great with my coaching clients. So a lot of positive decisions. Positive in my relationship with my wife, relationship with my daughter. Lots of zillions of positive decisions, and also some negative decisions, again with PT and eating. And sleeping is still, I'm still having a tough time with my sleeping and stuff. So, which that's not new, that's been forever, that's been a long time. So so I was scared, I was nervous, all these anxious, all these other things, disappointed, and then I thought, no, man, I mean, yes, I have made poor decisions in eating. And so I asked, God for forgiveness. Hey, Noble, forgive yourself, dude. Okay, I forgive myself for making very poor eating decisions and fitness decisions, over the past 2 months. I'm sorry, and I ask for forgiveness, and I forgive myself, and I ask God too. And because I believe that our body is God's temple, and I want to treat His temple appropriately. I don't want to be a poor steward of the body that He's given me. Especially because I'm obviously the older I get, the more important health is, in my opinion. And not that it's never not important, but it's super. It's this quote, right? Is that if you don't take time for your health and fitness, there will be a time where you have to take time for your health and fitness, either in a hospital or outside the hospital. And I didn't say it as eloquently. I'm sure you guys know the quote exactly, but it's that quote, and it's powerful, right? You're going to spend money on your health one way or another, either preventatively or post-ively, or whatever the word is I'm looking for. You will spend time on your health. And y'all, we've spent a month in the hospital with my daughter when she was 2 years old, and it was $186,000, y'all, for 1 month in the hospital with my daughter when she was 2 years old. And it was like two of those 4 weeks was in the PICU, the pediatric intensive care unit. So health, if you do not make health a priority now, you will pay massively for it later in the form of hospital bills and medical bills and doctor bills. And that's no joke. So anyway, I was nervous, I was scared. I even messaged my professor beforehand, literally this morning. I say, Professor, and honestly, I did it for accountability so I wouldn't chicken out at the last minute. But I said, hey, Professor, I'm coming back to class today in a couple hours. I wanted to let you know that part of me is very excited, and also part of me is terrified and embarrassed because, so check this out. I've also gained a truckload of weight back, which I feel miserable about, absolutely miserable, right? All those emotions, disgusting, blah, 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 right? All the negative stuff. And then, so boom, I'm getting ready, getting changed for my jits class. Again, feeling all those not pleasant emotions. And I'm like, I need to jump on the scale for accountability and face it like a man. I've made decisions. There are consequences for my decisions. and I need to face it like a man. I need to face it like a responsible, someone who's taken ownership and responsibility of their feelings and emotions and decisions. And so I was like, oh crap, man, I'm gonna get on the scale, and I know I've probably gained all my 50 pounds that I lost over the course of 9 months, which is miraculous all by itself. I know I've gained it all back. And so then I thought, no, shut up, Noble, just stop. Can you guys imagine, man, what it's like inside of my being? Oh my goodness. And so right before I get on the scale, and I'm about to get the serious sticker shock of this scale, I told myself, as long as I'm anything under 281, because that's the biggest I've ever been in my life, and that was last July, literally a year ago, actually. Wow, snap. Literally a year ago, I was 281. And over the course of 9 months, I got down to 230, y'all. So lost 50 pounds, and I thought, okay, but right before I step on the scale, as long as I can be anything under 281, I'm gonna be happy, or I'll be less mad. Oh snap! I got on the scale, 250, y'all, 250. Now, as you know, there's a lot of ways to look at that. If I had not done my little perspective check, I would have been super pissed that I gained 20 pounds back. Super upset. Thankfully, I had that quick perspective check because of self-awareness. I've been working on my self-awareness, which I still have a long way to go. But I've been working on my, because I'm using my mood meter app every day, or most days. And so I'm like, no, I'm still down 30 pounds. And check this out. This is bad to the bone too. Because it was the first time in 2 months I was back in my routine, right? Because again, those y'all been listening to my podcast, I have been consistent with jits for 9 months in a row, 5 to 6 days a week for 1 to 2 hours a day. Like, I've been hardcore consistent, y'all, and for the past 10 months. And so boom, when I started getting dressed, started putting my outfit on, my gi on and stuff like that, boom, it put me back in my zone again. Yo, I was so stoked. I was like, oh snap. Now, I still 20 pounds, gained back 20 pounds and all that stuff. I was still a little nervous and scared, but like, it was a positive trigger. It was a positive trigger just getting my uniform back on. It was a little more snug because, I'd gained that 20 pounds back, but boom, I got my gi on. I went through my routine of what I was doing 2 months ago. Show up to the gym. I see everybody again. I smell the gym. I'm seeing the mats. I'm smelling the mats. I'm seeing everybody, my homies. I'm like, oh man, I'm back in it. I'm back in it to win it. I'm in there like nose hair, y'all. In there like nose hair. So, and then boom, doing the drills. It was great doing drills with one of my buddies. He's a cop. He's been a cop for about 4 or 5 years now. He's a retired Marine, 20 plus years as a Marine. And now, so he's been in service of our country and the public for his whole life, this guy. Incredible, just a great guy. And so his name's Chris, super dude. So we're doing drills, and it was great because we were drilling partners before I took the 2 month hiatus. So rolling with him again, it was great, and he's a great training partner. And then boom, got 4 rolls in today, y'all, and it was awesome. I felt amazing. Felt absolutely amazing. And one of my things is like, okay, because I'm bigger than 98% of people that I roll with, maybe 99% of people I roll with, I always start on my back. I just let them take the dominant position, and then I just work from there. If I could sweep them, I will, and then maybe I'll go back on my back or whatever, but I let them work their offensive game. So the point is, here some great lessons from this 2 months off. Again, maybe you need a break in your routine. Maybe you need some grace and patience and flexibility in your routine, just for a time, just for a little time, not for the whole, forever. And one thing I recommend is that I wish I had done that I didn't do. I wish I had set a predetermined time of how long I was going to take off, which I didn't, which was a big no-no. That's how I went into another thing that put me into my serious suicidal and depressive phase back in '05, I believe it was, just a few years after I got out of the military. And I was going to take time off, but I never set how long amount of time I was going to take off, which was, again, a mistake, big mistake. So when you take time off, set a time for how long you're going to take off. Now, maybe at the end, let's say, okay, I'm going to take 3 days off. At the end of those 3 days, if you need to reassess and you need a couple more days, you reassess. Okay, I'm going to take 2 more days off. But make it a conscious decision. Don't do like I just did, like, okay, I'm just going to keep taking off until the moon's aligned. I'm going to go back to class. Now, that being said, my schedule has been nuts the last 2 months, where it would have been very, very difficult for me to make a class the past 2 months, because again, I've been traveling a lot, and I've had afternoon stuff, I've had evening stuff, which is when I have my classes, and again, my sleep schedule's terrible. So, right, but excuse. The point is, set a time for how, I would have felt a lot better if I had said, okay, if 2 months ago I had looked at my calendar and said, okay, I'm about to take some time off from JITS. How much time am I going to take off? Okay, I'm going to take 2 months off. I would have felt better about my decision of taking the past 2 months off if I had made a conscious decision to take 2 months off. So that's a big lesson. The other thing is, give yourself grace and patience in this journey, this emotional growth journey. I've said the last few episodes that I've been sucking, and that when you sometimes in this journey, this emotional growth journey, one of the ways you know you're on the right track is when you take 3 steps forward and it feels like 2 steps back. That's actually a sign, in my opinion, that that's working, that you're getting more aware of your emotions. And again, just give yourself grace, space, and patience along this journey. The other thing I wish I had done that I didn't do, which I've told you guys, so again, CEO of the Hypocrite Club, like I said the last episode, I think, is I wish I had done a better job of journaling. I still need to make that a habit, but that's another thing that I wish I had done, is I wish I had done a better job at journaling. So that's another thing that I wish I had done. The other thing I wish I had done is I wish I had done a better job at, the journaling would have helped out a lot. I was doing my mood meter app, so that's a good thing. I wish I had been more intentional, again, at journaling, which would have helped out my self-awareness, which would have also helped out my self-management. And I also wish I had done a better job at reaching out to people. Now, thankfully, I've got my VA therapist, counselor lady that I talked about this last time. And, we meet, I don't know how often, once a month, once every, maybe 2 or 3 weeks. But I wish I had been more honest and transparent with my friends, with some of the folks in my circle. That's still not easy for me. It's still not easy for me to say, hey, friend, or even my wife. It's not easy to admit to my wife, which is probably pride and ego, that hey, I'm struggle bus right now. I'm sucking. I'm not doing well. Can we talk about this? Can we, something? And something else I wish I had done is I wish I had, even if I had said I'm taking 2 months off of jiu-jitsu, I wish I had said I'm at least doing something. I'm going to do 5 push-ups a day. I'm going to do 10 body squats. And I know that's super weak sauce for some of you CrossFit killers out there. But something, I wish I had made a decision that even if I wasn't going to do jits, I was going to do something physical. Some of my jits drills, some of my jits warm-ups, just stretching, something physical. And even if it was the littlest thing, I mean, imagine if I had just done, 20 push-ups, 30 push-ups a day, 40, something like that, 50 push-ups a day, or alternated 50 push-ups a day, every other day, 50 sit-ups every other day, or flutter kicks, or right. I mean, something. I wish I had done a better job. So anyway, good lessons learned for me that I will remember for the next time that I go into a funk. Also, I hope and pray that I get better at recognizing when I am going into a funk, because these last 4 or 5 times I've been triggered the past 2 months, I had zero. It was like an old school trigger. Like I went from everything's fine to I am completely emotionally hijacked that fast in a second, or at least that's what it seemed like to me. And it took me 2 or 3 days to calm down off of that emotional trigger, which again, I've already told you that whole rant and rave about. Oh man, I need to forgive myself for that too. And just again, continue to work on that self-awareness and self-management. It's an ongoing thing. And then check this out. My wife today sent me this link. I clicked on the link, boom, it took me this lady talking about writing a book. Here are the steps. I'm interviewing this New York Times bestselling author on how to write a book. And this lady's written 9 books in 11 years, 9 books in 11 years. And it was also exactly what I needed. Exactly what I needed. And last night and today, you guys, well, by the time this thing gets posted, I'll have already done so I'm doing a church service, y'all. I'm not a preacher. I'm not, I'm not I don't have a degree in the Bible, not nothing, y'all. And my pastor's like, at our church is like, dude, I'm out of town on Sunday. You're up to bat. I'm like, oh, dude, do you realize who you're putting behind the pulpit? Dude, I got tattoos. Oh man, I got too much junk in my trunk. He's like, no, dude, you're up to bat. So I would tell you to pray for me, but I'll have already done it by the time this episode gets posted. So maybe you can reach out and say, hey, how'd it go? Because I'm going to tell, look, nobody quit the church service, or nobody quit this church when I'm done preaching. Wait till our pastor gets back. Oh, snap. But if you want to check it out, they will probably post it. It's called Fervent Church, and in Colorado, and you may be able to see, oh man, the EQ gangster who does not feel like a gangster right now with his EQ. Oh my goodness. So anyway, that'll be high adventure. That's going to be an emotional journey. But anyway, last night and today, this morning, I've been going through, okay, here's what I'm going to be talking about, going through all the Bible verses, all the Bible passages and stuff. And so we'll see how it goes. Oh my goodness. I just pray nobody quits his church after I'm done dropping some skinny on them. So anyway, a lot of little things. I've been paying attention to kind of how I'm coming out of this funk. And those were all a bunch of little things that were really helpful. And again, man, the other thing I want to encourage you guys to do, if you feel yourself in a funk, this is something I also did the last time, not this time, not this funk, but the previous funk that was really helpful. Something that's really helpful to get out of a funk is doing little teeny things that you can control. So for example, folding the clothes, doing the laundry, folding a blanket, washing a dish, cleaning up the pantry, reorganizing the fridge. Something that has an immediate, it's very quick, it's very easy, low barrier to entry. It's not moving the mountains. It's not reorganizing the whole house, making the bed, taking a shower, brushing your teeth, something that gives you control. When things can spiral, and this is just my own personal experience, when things can spiral is when we feel out of control. And the less we feel in control, the greater that spiral can happen. And so you guys, I think I said the last episode, one of the 4 deadly emotional sins. And this is my own little phrase. This is not official. This is not some actual term. This is my own little thing. The 4 deadly emotional sins that I am guilty of, all 4: stuffing, avoiding, stewing, and brooding. Stuffing, avoiding, stewing, and brooding. In fact, I did all 4 the past 2 months. Oh my goodness. Crazy talk. So if you can do just little teeny things each day that give you a sense of control, putting yourself back in control. A lot of times, again, when we get overwhelmed with our emotions and stuff, we can start to feel out of control. And so the more these little teeny things, organizing up, your desk, organizing your office, organizing the pencil drawer, something little teeny thing that can give you, and the more those little teeny things you can kind of piece together, the better. Maybe take a nap. Just say, hey, I'm literally gonna do 5 air squats, 5 body squats. I'm literally gonna do, I'm gonna put my leg up on this chair and do a quick stretch. Or I'm just gonna sit on the floor real quick. I'm gonna do a 30-second stretch, something. And also, that's another great point. The other thing too, and this is some serious skinny, y'all, that I've learned from my depressed days of depression, and my hardcore, even worse than that, days. I would make these absolute dumb, seemingly insignificant goals just so I could start to trust and believe myself again, because I despised myself. I hated myself. And so if I could just start to build back trust with myself, oh man, it was amazing. It's very, very powerful. So literally, like, I'd be laying in bed. So I'm laying in bed. Now, I didn't do that this time because I wasn't that super dark and bad, but depending on where you're at in your, you know what I'm saying, that this may be helpful, is, so boom, you wake up, and literally before you get out of bed, you just pop your eyes open and say, okay, I'm literally going to get out of bed right now. Boom. And then you get out of bed. And now you're standing by your bed. Okay, now, right now, I'm going to the bathroom. And then boom, you walk into the bathroom, go to the bathroom. Okay, now I'm going to brush my teeth. And then you walk in and you brush your teeth. Okay, now I'm going to get dressed for the day. Or I'm going to put on my pants. Boom, you put on your pants. I'm going to put on a shirt now. You put on your shirt. I'm going to brush my beard right now. Brush your beard right now. So all these and so you think about it, that right there, I just made and accomplished like 15 to 20 goals, and I'm like 5 minutes into the day or 10 minutes into the day. And again, for those y'all that are like, dude, I don't like, this is like so lame, this is ridiculous, then that's fine. Don't worry about this episode. But if you've ever been in a funk before, and like, depending how deep and dark your funk is, this can be life-changing for you, because it was for me. And just start doing that throughout the day. By the time it's lunchtime, heck, or even breakfast, you've already set and made and accomplished like 50 goals. You were good for your word. You can start trusting yourself again, and just continue to do that throughout the day. So that's more stuff. Honestly, more stuff I probably wish I had done throughout these last couple months. And I pray that I'm slowly coming out of this. That's my prayer. We'll see. I gotta do what I tell you guys to do. I gotta practice what I preach here. Now, again, fortunately, I've been doing the Mood Meter app, which is really good. That's been helpful. I need to do a better job at my journaling and stuff. I know just even being consistent with podcasting has been very helpful. I know it's going to be very therapeutic to finish my book, to start again and finish my book. So I'm really looking forward to that experience and journey as well. So I just want to share, man, do something. If you're in a funk, if you're not, if you don't feel like you're dialed in right now. And also, here's something else too. I did this the other day. Put on your favorite tunes. Put on some tunes that'll change your mood. What tunes do you need to play to fit the mood that you're trying to create? Are you a heavy metal person? Are you a classical person? Are you a reggae person? Are you a reggaeton person? Are you a hip hop person? Are you a country person? What genre of music are you an EDM person? What genre of music, of tunes, what outfit do you need to put on to feel good? What, again, I did this episode, this may have been the last episode I did, but what brings you alive? What makes you come alive? And that was great. That was amazing. I felt great right there in that moment. But do that. String enough of those moments together. If you know you love a particular restaurant, particular type of food, do some of that stuff. Pay attention to how it makes you feel. Increase that self-awareness, and then increase your self-expression, which is also one of the subscales of emotional intelligence, self-expression. Share it with somebody. Tell somebody how you're feeling, and see if you can come up with at least maybe 3 or 4 or 5 different emotions for how you're feeling. Don't just settle or be satisfied with like one particular emotion. Really dig deep, spend some time like, okay, what am I feeling right now? What are some of the emotions I'm feeling right now? So anyway, I wanted to share. I feel amazing after my jits class. I'm about to do another conference call with another. He's a life coach, he's a kind of a global life coach. He's lives in London. About to do a conference call with him. And for those of you all that would like to be a part of a community of like-minded, safe, trusting environment, community, tribe of people that are all taking their emotional growth seriously so that they can go into this next season of their life. Man, and God forbid if we have another 2020 again, if we have another COVID year, so to speak, we have another 2020, it's more important than ever to take your emotional growth, your emotional health seriously. Please check out our EQ Mafia, our membership group, eqgangster.com/mafia, eqgangster.com/mafia. If you don't deal with your emotional issues, your friends and family and company will. Unaddressed emotional issues don't get better over time. They actually compound. Emotionally healthy people help heal other people emotionally. Thank you all so much for watching our YouTube channel, which for right now is still EQ for Entrepreneurs. Thank you for listening to our podcast, EQ Gangster. Thank you for your support. Thank you for rating, reviewing, sharing, and subscribing our podcast. And just very, very thankful for you all to be on in this journey of life with you all, to be the best we can possibly be and reach our optimal, maximized performance in every single area of our life.